In today's episode of Fix the Fit, I thought I would remake the Urban Pants by Pattern Emporium. They are basically an athleisure pant in a knit fabric. I made the first pair way back in January of this year for a battle style video where I compared that pattern to two other ones I'd made in the past. And I really liked how they felt. I like the fit overall, but there were a few little tweaks I really wanted to make to the pattern before I made them again. And it is the time of year where I really enjoy wearing nice, comfy pants, especially on the weekends or when I'm working from home. So I thought the timing was perfect, and I was just going to make myself a new pair of Urban Pants. If you're new here, my name is Izzy, and on this channel, I love the challenge of making myself some garments that fit me as well as possible. I'm not after perfection, but I do want my clothes, my handmade clothes, to fit me better than what I can get in stores. So there you go. So I'm going to insert a clip here of a try-on I did a couple weeks ago of the very first pair of Urban Pants I made, just to kind of remind me of what those issues were. And then we're going to go through the adjustments I made to the pattern to make my new pair and try those on. And then, yeah, we'll basically do a little critique of the adjustments I made to the pattern. So let's get into it. All right, so I've got my Urban Pants on, and I have a mic, and hopefully this is going to make the audio stay consistent even if I step away from the camera and turn around to really show you these pants and the fit adjustments I want to make to them. So I made these out of a Ponte from Minerva. I think it's from their heavier Ponte, and I have to say this fabric is pretty perfect for these pants. It is sturdy enough that I feel like it's not sucking me in, but it's holding me in, and every lump and bump is not going to be visible. So yeah, very comfortable. I like this Ponte. The fabric I have to make my new pair is not quite this heavy. I think it's also a Ponte. Oh no, I think it's a French terry actually, but a pretty lightweight one. So I'm a little bit worried about that new fabric, but anywho, let's show you the pants. All right, so from the front, I think I need to lower the waistband a little bit. So cut out a little wedge here and yeah, bring them down a bit because I feel like they're a little bit high. And yeah, I feel like I need to pull up. I don't even know how to word this, but I feel like I need to pull them up for them to fit properly and not have a million drag lines. But when they're pulled up this high, they don't feel as comfortable. So I think I'm going to remove maybe like 1 inch from the front. Now, when I wear them in the proper spot, many of the smile lines or drag lines I have in the front disappear, which tells me that the fit is pretty good in the front. You can see my tummy, but hey, I have a tummy, so there you go. Otherwise, like at the hips, they fit me pretty well. I do have a tiny bit of ease, but I want that. But see, when I stand really straight, the lines appear again. I'm going to have to do some research into these diagonal drag lines and see if there's anything I can do about those. And then you can see the flare on the leg. Hopefully you can see it. I love that. I love that they're very wide at the bottom. Yeah, it's just, yeah, I love that. Yeah, see, you can see the lines here. All right, now let's have a look at the back because that's where most of the fit issues appear. So these pants have darts in the back right here, which I really like because I love the fit that I get up here. Like I don't find there's a lot of extra fabric. The issue is in the smile lines I get right under my bum. And those, to me, point to like not enough length in the back crotch. So, because if I, like, it makes me want to pull at the inseam to kind of add a little bit of fabric or length there. And then I feel like all those lines would disappear, which is a very common adjustment for me, and one I need to do on pretty much every single pair of pants I make. But other than that, I mean, I'm going to look back at this footage and see if there's anything else, but I don't feel like I have a hungry bum in this. They are super comfortable. It's really just from an aesthetic and a visual thing. I just want to get rid of these lines under my bum. But other than that, they feel really, really comfortable, like uber comfortable, but they still feel pretty polished in terms of I would not be embarrassed to leave the house in these pants. I have left the house in these pants many, many times. I will wear the house or leave the house with these pants on today, in fact. But yeah, I want to remake them just because I'd like to get rid of those lines in the back and just make them visually a little more appealing. All right, so I've got my pattern pieces here. So this is the back of the pants. So I'm going to do my usual scooping here because I did have a look at the footage. And although I don't have like a big wedgie, for lack of a better word, I could use a little bit more room. So I'm just going to scoop the crotch curve here just a touch, probably just like a 1/4 of an inch. And then I'm going to add to the crotch extension here by about 1/2 an inch. And then I did research those smile lines on the front, and they are also pointing towards me needing to add to the front crotch extension. And those are the only changes I'm going to do because I like how these fit me. This is a size 20, by the way, and my measurements right now are about 38.5 waist, 47 hips. I could probably make a size 18, but I don't want these to be super fitted. I'm much more comfortable with a 10, just a touch of positive ease in my pants. So here's how I scoop. I don't know if I'm doing this correctly. This is always, it's always worked for me. So that's how I do it. So I'm gonna look at my ruler here and see where the 1/4 inch is and just make a tiny little mark right here. And then I'm just gonna go from the top of the curve here and then go to my mark and then go right to the extension. So I'm not removing anything here. Yeah, so I'm just removing just a bit here from the extension. And then I'm going to take some paper and add it to under the pattern at the crotch extension. Yeah, I'm probably going to extend my 1/2 inch like down to about here. So I'm just going to tape this down like this. And then measure about 1/2 an inch, which is, gosh, these lines are like really confusing. There we go. So I'm adding about 1/2 an inch here. And then I'm just going to take my curved ruler. How the heck am I going to do this? I basically just want to go from here to, oh, hi Bear. Sorry about that, folks. There we go. All right, so I'm adding a 1/2 inch, and then I'm tapering to nothing about here, and that should be enough. Well, I hope that's enough. All right, and then I'm just gonna take my scissors and cut the excess paper, and at the same time just cut on my traced line here where I scooped some out like this. There we go. All right, so the back is done. So I can put this aside for now. And I'm just gonna disturb Bear for a quick minute. All right, baby, I'm sorry. Okay, you're good, you're good. All right, and I'm gonna basically do the exact same thing on the front here. And now I can just cut. All right. There we go. And those are the only adjustments I'm gonna make. And I have to say, these are very common adjustments for me. I mean, most patterns are designed for, I'm guessing, a bum that's sitting a little bit higher than mine. And also, patterns assume that your width or the length around you. So let's say this is my hips, where this is my front and this is my back. Most patterns assume that your width, so my 47 inches, go around this way, whereas my body is a little bit more like this. So the distance front to back here is a lot shorter than this distance front to back for me, which is why I need to add length in the middle here at the crotch extension. And I have to do this for most patterns. I'd say, I don't think I've made a single pattern where I didn't need to do this for them to fit me really, really well. So yeah, I mean, nothing wrong with my body. It's just that pattern designers design for a body that looks like this, while mine looks more like this. So there you go. All right, so I am now ready to cut into my fabric. It's been washed already. I'm just gonna give it a quick press and then cut my pattern pieces, and I'll show you what the pants look like after they're done. So after making the scoop adjustment and adding to the front and back crotch extension, I tried my pants on and they were just too big. And I'm gonna insert a clip of me trying them on because, yeah, they were big. And I'm not sure how that happened, except for the fact that, yes, I probably should have gone with a size 18, but my green pair wasn't that much bigger, like wasn't that big. Definitely not as big as these turned out. And the fabric is very, very similar. So not sure what happened there, but anywho. So they just turned out too big. So I'm gonna take them to, or I took them to the serger to shave off a little bit in the front and shave off a 1/2 inch on either side. And yeah, here's a clip of the second try on of the results of those really quick and dirty adjustments. All right, so we are at our second try on. So, well, third, really. So, what I've done to fix the size issue, and again, I think I said this in one of the clips, I probably should have made a size 18 to begin with, not a size 20. So, lesson learned there. But I also realized after looking at my pattern pieces that I forgot to do my tilted waist adjustment that I always have to do on pants because I wear my pants lower in the front than I do in the back. So I've now chopped off as much as I could without unsewing all of the waistband. I just basically put it through my serger just in the front and removed a 1/2 inch, but I can definitely use my usual 1.5 inch in the front. So I've done 1/2 inch now, and I've taken a 1/2 inch off both side seams, and I am much happier with the fit now. So let's have a look. So there we go. So I mean, they could be a little higher, like I said, in the front. This is probably where, yeah, this is probably where the fit is best, but I don't know that they feel all that comfortable like this. You can see that the front is nice and flat. I did add pockets in these, although they do show through. I think I should have used thinner fabric for them, but anyways, it doesn't really matter. So the front I am pretty happy with. Now, the back, and hopefully you can see the drag lines are still there, but are not as bad as they were on the green pair of pants. And what I think I should have done is gone down further with my extra 1/2 inch. Usually when I make this adjustment, I take it down all the way to the knee, and I didn't this time, and I'm really not sure why I didn't, but I'm pretty sure if I'd added the 1/2 inch all the way to the knee, most of these drag lines would be gone. But I really like the fit I got around here, and in the back I find the pants land in a good spot. They're really comfortable. So yeah, all in all, I would say these pants are a success. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with them. All right, I'm going to go get my chair and sit down comfortably to finish this video. So the lesson I learned here by remaking these pants is that there are a series of adjustments I have to make to pretty much every single pant pattern out there, and I've made a few now, so I really just should go ahead and make those to the paper pattern before even making a muslin, if I feel like I'm going to be making a muslin. So those are my 1.5 inch tilted waist adjustment. And that is basically taking a wedge out of the front pattern piece right below the waistband to remove length from the rise, but only in the front. So you start at the front with your wedge and then taper to nothing at the side seam so that your side seams for the front and the back still match up and you can sew them together. So 1.5 inch tilted waist adjustment. I always have to take out at least 1/4 inch from the crotch curve by scooping a little bit. This gives my bum, my lower bum, a little extra room down there. And then adding a 1/2 inch crotch extension in the back, making sure that I take the extra 1/2 inch all the way to the knee and then taper to nothing. From time to time, I may need to do this crotch extension to the front as well, but I have found that I don't need to do that for every pattern. So my default or my standard adjustments will just be the tilted waist, the scoop, and the back crotch extension. And then I'm hoping that I'll have more successful muslins if I do those right off the bat. The other thing I really need to learn, or will try to focus on, is the amount of ease that I need to be comfortable. So I'm not sure yet what, 3 inches of ease is going to feel like and look like on me. So I need to get better at that. So when a pattern says there's 1 inch of ease at the waist, okay, that's fine. But is that comfortable for me? Is that too small for me? That kind of thing. Same thing for the hips. So I need to get better at gauging the amount of ease that I need to just feel comfortable in my clothes. A couple of tips for you if you are on your pants fitting journey would be take photos of your muslin, and like photos from the side, photos from the front, from the back, and try to take them with a tripod if you can, or have somebody else take those pictures for you, because it's really, really difficult to look at yourself from the back, even in a mirror, or try to take a picture without twisting or without moving. Like, you really need a stable camera, and you need to, have your back to the camera in a nice straight position. So highly recommend taking pictures. Make your adjustments in small increments. Like, especially when it comes to scooping, a 1/4 inch goes a long way in eliminating a wedgie, for example. So start small, and then when you learn what your body needs, then you can go straight to those. And then wearable doesn't have to mean perfect. And I've said this before on the channel a number of times. I am not after perfection. The goal here is really for my handmade clothes to feel and look better than what I can buy in a store. And there will always be little things that probably only a sewist would notice or would know are fit issues. So don't sweat the small stuff, and just be happy that you probably have a much better fitting pair of pants than what you would get in a store. All right, so even though these are not perfect, I am quite happy with my new urban pants. I have now made the adjustment, all of the adjustments on my pattern pieces. I'm not going to go ahead and reprint the entire pattern to go down a size. I'm just going to shave the 1/2 inch off the side. I'm going to add a little more to the 1/2 inch extension, do the tilted waist. So my pattern is ready to go the next time I want to make these pants, because they are really cute, they are really comfortable, and they are like the perfect pant for when I'm working from home or in my sewing room for an entire day. I do love that yoga waistband. All right, so that's going to do it for me today. I would love to know in the comments below what your biggest fit challenge is. Is it pants? Is it fitting your bust? Is it fitting your shoulders? Let me know in the comments below, because if anybody in the comments has any tips for anybody else, that would be great. So let's all help each other, even if it's just to commiserate on our fit issues. Thank you so much for watching. Please give the video a like on your way out if you liked it, and I will see you soon.